Welcome to our late gardening chat. Tonight is for Q&A. So if you have any question you would like to ask tonight, or if you're watching this video and you have any question, you could place it in the comment section. I try to respond to every comment possible. All right. So what's going on, guys? Hey, what's up, guys? What's up? Good night. Welcome to Plant a Garden TV. Welcome back. All right. What's up, guys? What's up? Well, as we know, this is garden season. Well, for me, it's garden season. For a lot of people still waiting, a lot of people still. But for me, garden season never over for me. Never over, guys. It's an ongoing thing for me because my growing season is pretty short. And when your growing season is short, there's, depending on where you are, there's a lot of people who can grow all year round. All to the tropical areas, you can grow your garden all year round. But when you growing your garden in an area where you got to deal with the cold weather, it's just kind of different. It's some more preparation. I mean, if you're living in an area that you don't have to deal with the cold weather, listen me, guys. If you don't have to deal with the cold weather, guys, I'm telling you, you have a big advantage over the people who got to deal with the cold weather. I mean, it's challenging in so many ways. Could you imagine? You got to start to prep months ahead. You got to naturally start prepping months ahead before you could even think of garden season. 2, 3 months ahead, 4 months ahead, getting yourself together for the garden season. That is very challenging. I ain't joking, but I enjoy it. And I know a lot of people, it might be challenging. And trust me, it takes patience. It also takes dedication to deal with seeds. You know what I mean? This year right now, this is bell pepper. Look how much bell pepper, look how much seed this thing having. This is bell pepper. This come from a 9 feet tall bell pepper tree. So I want to start germinating some, but I also thinking maybe should I wait till maybe, no, we're going for February. So I'm definitely going to germinate some, but I'm going to show you guys how I germinate, and I'm also going to show you how I program my bell pepper seed. All right, so welcome everyone. Hey Kidin, how you doing? Welcome. Thank you guys for coming in. Hey Ashley, welcome. Joel, welcome. Mashu, welcome everyone. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to hit the like button. Because on this channel, every time you come on this channel, I guarantee you, you're going to learn something. So don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to leave a comment. And what I'm saying tonight is for Q&A. So if you have any question tonight, I'm right here. Hey, thank you, Cooper. Thank you for sending that gift. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Blessings, blessings. Yes. Logan said, I hope. Yes. Definitely the blessing is going on. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. Yes. So tonight is for Q&A. Anyone have any question about organic garden? Let's go. You could ask the question and I will answer to the best of my ability. If I don't know, I'll say I don't know. But it's got to be about organic garden. Organic gardening. So what's up, guys? And always remember, don't forget to save some seed. Always remember, don't forget to save seeds. Always remember, seeds is important. You cannot be growing food and not saving no seed for the next season. That doesn't make any sense at all. You cannot be growing food and not saving no seeds, because the next garden season you don't want to be out there begging and seeking for seed. You're supposed to have your seed every year. You should have your seed stacking up every year. So don't throw away your seeds. Bust down your pepper. All you gotta do, you gotta watch. You ain't even gotta take it off. Watch. You just cut it around, pull this part out, and put it to dry. And just like that, you have all your seeds here drying. These are some very valuable pepper seed here. These come from a 9-foot tall bell pepper tree. So these are some valuable seed for me. We also have, this is okra seed. This is okra. This is the purple fat okra. The purple fat okra seed. I always try to save seed. Look here again. All these to replant. These are edos. All these for replant. We have potato. All these to replant, guys. You know, you got to save garlic. You got to save everything for the next season. Don't use everything you have. Don't throw, and listen to me. Ginger. You growing ginger. You got to save a few pieces for the next season. Because I'm telling you, I do believe in the future it's going to be very difficult for us to get seed. I truly believe that. And you know, these days, guys, we have to value seeds. When you have, this is why I'm valuing my seeds. Because guys, I've been growing these seeds for over 10 years, this breed of pepper. And every year I save seed. This is seed I save from the last crop. So I have thousands of pepper seed. All right? You know, every year when I grow edos, every year when I grow this crop, when you harvest the crop, what happens is, this is a plant that grows, and if you see here, then it's going to start to push out leaf. And it push out leaf all through the spring, all through the summer, into the fall. Then you harvest the root. During the season, you could be eating the young leaf them. We call them callaloo. We make callaloo with them. When you harvest them, you can harvest out the cut off the top, and you bury it back in the soil. But that depending on where you live in. You have that depending on where you live in. You got to be in like maybe zone 7, zone 8, zone 9. You could bury it back right away. But if you're living in 6, if you're living in like 6, it might be a little difficult for you, difficult and challenging. But it's a plant I enjoy growing. So when you prepare yourself, guys, when you save your seed, when you put up a few pieces of ginger, whatever you grow, you save the seed. So when the next season approaching, you're ready to go. You ain't got to go out there stressing about seed, and it's a blessing if you're able to start seeds indoors. It's a blessing if you're able to do seeds for yourself instead of have to buy starts. It's a blessing. So today is for Q&A, but I'm also going to be showing you how I germinate seeds. You know, listen to me, guys. There's many ways to germinate seed. There's many ways. But it's important if you could learn all the ways. Or if you could have 2 different ways that you could germinate seed. Like for instance, germinate seeds in soil. Germinate seed in soil. We know about germinating seed in soil. And in every aspect, it can be very challenging. Because if you don't know how much water to give your plants indoors, you could rot their root. So it's very challenging. Even in germination, if you put them in soil and you wet the soil too much, that the water is just there settling in the soil, and then you don't have no drainage for the water to drain out, you could lose your seed could rot without even germinate. So it's very challenging. It's very challenging. I want to show you guys a simple way how to germinate seeds. Wait, where are you with the One second. Yes. This, guys, is very, very easy and simple method right here. Very easy and simple method right here. I hope you guys can see. All right. So what we're going to do here, this is our pepper. So the first thing we want to do, we want to damp the paper towel. This is a paper towel we have here. We want to damp it. Now the only thing I don't have here at this point is the Ziploc bag. So you want to damp the paper towel. This is very, you damp it and you break off a few other seeds. This is the bell pepper here. You just break off a few other seeds. So depending on how much seed you want, if you want maybe 10, 15, you just break them off and you just break them off and leave them right there. Then what you do, you just wrap it up like this. Wrap it up like this. You see the seeds them inside? This is the seeds them inside. And what you do, you take this and you put this in a Ziploc bag. You could also put it in one of these containers and you just close it and you put it in a dark area. It cannot be cold, it's got to be room temperature, because if it's too cold, the seed will not germinate. All right? The seed will not germinate if it's too cold. So you got to have it in the room temperature. And just like this, guys, you put that in a Ziploc bag and you leave it for maybe like a week. Leave it. Once the seed is good, when you go back, what's going to happen? When you open it, you're going to start see like it start pushing out the root, like a white root already start pushing out. This is a very easy way to germinate seed. This works pretty fast. All right? So after, when they germinate, you allow them for the root, the white root to push out a little, maybe about an inch and a half. And then you start to place them in the soil. And when you place them in the soil, and you cover them with the soil, and you just leave them, they already germinate. You make sure you have them in an area where the temperature is room temperature. It cannot be, 20 degrees and 25 degrees and 30 degrees. No, you want them to be in a warm area. Sometimes you can invest in a grow light. Grow light helps. You also could invest in like a shop light. You know the shop light them? You could invest in a shop light and you could just have it over it, giving it the light, giving it the heat, and then sometimes air, sometimes a fan. If you have a fan, you could have a fan because, plants love air, guys. Plants love air. So sometimes you could have the fan a little off and just have the fan blowing and giving it some air. Not all day, just for a few moments. And this, you do not want to overwater them, because that's a big problem right there. Overwetting them is a real big problem. Because like I said, if you overwet them, you could rot their root. And one thing you got to remember too, guys. If you see them not growing the way you expect them to grow, don't get mad, guys. Don't get mad, because you got to remember, they indoors and they will not grow as fast as you expect. The thing is keeping them alive and give them little water as possible. Keep them alive and give them little water as possible. So we have other things we want to do as well. The onion. Okay, let me see. A case tractor said, I germinate my seed on the radiator next to my living room window. I use a paper towel chip, but I put the wet paper towel with seeds in it in a Ziploc. Yes, definitely. Definitely. That's basically the same thing I'm going to do with this. I'm going to take this and I'm going to put this in a Ziploc bag. Yes, and the radiator, that's perfect. That's perfect right there. Where you using the radiator to give it that heat, that's perfect. Because it need that heat. Another place where people put their seed to germinate, on your refrigerator. On your refrigerator, some people put their seed to germinate on the top of their refrigerator. Because yes, that on your refrigerator also give a little heat. You know, there's something, sometimes we have plants in our garage. So for instance, we have plants in our garage, like we doing our seed in our garage. Is one thing, I saw somebody make a mistake this way one time, and I learned from that. Here how they had the plant direct on the garage floor. Direct on the garage floor. So all the coldness that coming up from the ground, out of the concrete, into the container, it start all the plants just, the seedling just destroy. So even though your garage might have a little warmness, you still want to put them under, maybe some people use heat mat, some people use a piece of carpet, like a carpet, and spread it and put it. You cannot allow rest it on the cold concrete, because that coldness gonna comes up and penetrate, and you could lose your plant, your seedling just like that. You have to protect your seedlings, guys. You have to protect your seedlings. People charge a lot of money for seedlings. Chapter say, not good for the plant, warm air, rise so cold is below. Right, all right. Yes, coldness, I've seen that happen before from a guy I know. Or he have them resting on the ground. That wasn't a good idea. He loses seedling. So this is what this channel is about. This channel is about information and trying to keep you from making these simple mistakes. So don't rest your seedling directly on the ground, the container, because the coldness could damage the root. Remember, the root is the life. The root is where the life in. So if the root damage, the plant damage. Just like that. You know, this is the next again, guys. This is onion. You see the bottom of the onion here? This is the root. This is the good thing about these plants, man. This is the good thing about these plants. This is the root right here. If you put this in water, as dry as it is right now, if you put this in water, these roots are going to turn to life. And then guess what? You're going to start to sprout leaf stem come up there. This is how, as much as you see how it dry, look how it dry. As much as you see how it dry, you put this in water, you're gonna see it just start growing. The next thing again, what you can do, if you have onion, anytime you harvest an onion, every time you go in and cook an onion, what you do, you see this part, you cut off this part down here. You cut off the bottom, and you could just put it in some water, like a container with some water, just for the root to catch, and then we're gonna start happening. The root them gonna start turn to life, and then guess what? You're gonna start to see it start sprouting, coming up in the center. Then what you do, you take it and you put it into the soil. So all these are ways, guys, how to save time and money. All right? And sometimes from one bottom, you could get 8 onion, because it happened to me before. One cut one bottom, then when it started to sprout, it sprout like 3. And then I split it in 3 and I end up get 8 onion from one bottom. So these are things we do and we save. Cut it off, and we have we're growing our onion just like that. These are some of my, these are garlic right here. But some of the garlic, look, this one is naturally sprouting through the skin. It really want to go in the soil, but at this point in time, I'm thinking it's too late, because we actually heading for February right now, and I think it's too late, because garlic take at least 6 to 8 months for harvest. And the thing about it with garlic need cold air. Garlic need to plant in cold season. Like we see the winter, the fall, the winter, they love that cold weather. That cold weather is for help them open up the thing and then make it split and start to, add different garlic, because this is why we get a bulb, because that bulb gonna open up, and then now we have from one little peg, we're gonna have a whole garlic loaded with different pegs, right? So, but the winter, the cold weather is what create that process. So if it ain't got long enough time to create that process, it mightn't be successful. So the best time is October, November, December, maybe early January. Once you hit February, it's too late. So right now, I plant my garlic already, but I don't think I want to plant any more at this time. Let me see. Case Shata say, I read that you strip the layer of onion until you get to the middle, then plant it. I did that with a store-bought onion in a plant pot. It eventually died. Not sure what I did wrong. Okay. You see, that's the thing. There's many ways. There's many ways, and people do things different. You see what I'm saying? But my success with store-bought onion or onion that you grow, the success is cutting off the bottom, not peeling off the skin. I don't peel the skin. I just cut off the bottom, like go around right there. And you could soak it in some water. You could soak it in some water, or you could just plant it in the soil. Because I do that as well. Because the onion basically can take the cold weather. So I planted in the soil just like that. So I don't know what take place with yours, but try it this way. Don't take off the skin. Just cut the bottom, put it in the soil, in some water. Then when you see it start to push up the sprang them and the roots start to get torn white, you see like how the root is brown and look dry, like nothing. You just take it, when it start to turn white, and just put it up in the soil. How deep do you plant it? Maybe like an inch, like 1 inch deep. Just put it down and just pull the soil over it. 1 inch deep, and that's it right there. Because you know, onion, you don't need to plant them deep. Onion, garlic, you don't need to plant them deep. So 1 inch to 1.5 inches, and trust me, it's gonna work. Thanks for you. You're welcome, Case Tractor, you're welcome. You know, sometimes it's so much things that we can do, guys. It's so much things that we can do. Okay, I subscribe. All right, thank you, Case Tractor, thank you. Believe it, you're not going to regret it, man, because it's so much information we share on this channel. You're not going to regret it. We do a lot of live stream. We also do a lot of videos. We also do live stream directly from our garden as well. So you're not going to regret it. All right? Thank you for subscribing. Appreciate that. All right. So what's going on, guys? How you guys doing? So as you see, we don't have our pepper. What we're gonna do now? It's too early to do okra. It's way too early to do okra. You see, you gotta think about the plants them that you wanna start now. Yes, we in January, heading for February, and you might believe, oh, it's too early, but not really, because as soon as February reach, it finished. That's March right there, which is spring. So you really want to be ready. So when that spring, that frost pass, you want your plants them to be at least 4 or 5 inches tall. So when you plant them, they take off. And especially me, I plant my plants them pretty deep. So I want them to reach at least 5 inches tall before planting time, because I mean, when you plant them deep, they must be down inside a hole. And guys, I'm telling you, the only plant I think you should plant shallow is garlic, ginger, beet, radish, scallion. These type of plants you could plant shallow, because these things, you know, the more shallow you plant them and they get exposed on top of the soil, to me they get bigger. So like radish, beet, onion, scallion, them type of plant, they just need to at least 1 to 1.5 inches deep. When you're talking about peppers, okra, any type of plant, you want to make sure you put them deep, guys. Deep. That's where you get your success from. We have over 50 pounds of these to plant. This is arrows. Listen to me. I might got to open up a piece of, open up, cut down some areas, clean up some areas to plant these. Because why? Why I might have to do that? Because where I grow them, I already plant back the head. So in the spring, the head gonna come up. So all the area that I already plant, I already replant the head. Now I have over 50 pounds of these to plant. And this is real food, guys. This is real food right here, man. Edos. Love me some Edos. Oh, I might have to use them and make flour. Yeah, maybe that's what I have to do. Maybe that's what I have to do. Watch here, guys. This crate is actually full. You see? The crate is full. Full, and I have to plant all these. Is it I plant them? Oh, I cut off the top, because like this, you could cut off the top, peel the bottom, and you could eat the bottom. Cut off the top here, plant the top, peel the bottom. So most likely, I'm gonna be using these to make flour. How I'm gonna use it to make flour? How am I gonna use it to make flour? Oh, have you ever grow Egyptian onion? I did before, and they grow like, yes, yes, I grow them. They run. Yeah, I grow Egyptian onion before. Yes, they run. Yes. I definitely grow them before. I'm still growing them as well. Yes, but I love them though. I love Egyptian onion. Yes. This is the time, guys. Food, you got to be prepared and ready, guys. You have to be prepared and ready. If you never grow food before, I'm telling you right now, learn to grow food. You see how everything just getting expensive every day. And if you, think about it. If you have to buy everything you need out of your paycheck, think about it. Think about it. Everything you need, all your bills, plus food. Think about it, guys. Think about it. That's stress right there. So, with me, it helped me to save a lot. Because what I do every year, guys, I clean up my garden and I plant up a bunch of food everywhere. And I harvest and I preserve. This what I now was showing you here. This is actually food right here. That you could peel, this like potato. This is actually food right here. You have pumpkin. I grow pumpkin as well. And my pumpkin, I still a pumpkin from what I harvest last year. So what I try to do, I try to grow food that you ain't got to do too much to preserve them. All you got to do, you grow them, and just like this, look at this. You preserve them, you put them in a container, and you ain't got to do too much. Same thing with the pumpkin. Same thing with the potato. You can grow them and store them. They store for themselves. So that's what I try to do, guys. and it saved me a lot of money because food ain't cheap. You grow bell pepper, you grow potato, you grow edo, you grow cabbage, you grow as much as you can. You grow lettuce, tomatoes, all these things, it saves you a lot of money. Could you imagine you walking and you ain't got to buy food? You feel good because, listen to me, you go into the supermarket today and spend $100. It ain't much you coming out with. Years ago, you might have to hire a taxi or load up your trunk with $100. But in today, $100 you could hold them in your hand. That's how it is. So if you could grow something to help, it's a blessing. I'm telling you. Okay. Case Chapter said, I started green pepper seeds ago. Haven't germinated yet. I am from Maine. Okay. Hey, Virginia, fruit grower, how you doing? Just want to say hi. Blessed, good night. You have a blessed night, all right? Thank you for passing through. Blessing to you, all right? Okay, yeah, if you start them 2 weeks ago, I started a green pepper seed a couple weeks ago, haven't germinated yet. You know what? Sometimes pepper take a long time. Sometimes pepper take 10 days, 12 days. But if it's me and you, I want to find some seed to sow. If you set them 2 weeks and no germination, over 2 weeks and no germination, maybe you need to find a little more seed. Yes, I think you need to find a different seed. Because this is the thing. You don't want to wait. The seeds are from last year. They're supposed to be good. Even though they're from last year, they're supposed to be good. I got seed from years ago. And when I sow them, they germinate. And always remember, when you have seed, always remember, give them some air. These are fresh seeds. But always remember, you got to give your seed some air. Always remember that. So if you store in them, from time to time, you give them some air. Look for rinse and right here. Let me see, hold on. All this is pepper right here. Dry pepper. That's what? Still having the seeds then. Different type of, basically hot pepper. This is another one here. So we have habanero pepper. We have scorpion pepper. We have cayenne pepper. And I dry them. So now, you seeing them, right? I dry them. You know how much seed is here? Do you know how much seed is here? And they all dry. So my goal is, yeah, my goal is to put them in a bag and crush them. Even though I might try to separate some of them. I might try to separate some of them that I can get their seeds. But this here, I'm telling you, it's thousands of seeds right here. I'm telling you. You see, this one, this, I'm telling you, this maybe have about 40 seed inside of it. This one alone. Maybe like 40 seed. This one pepper here. Yeah, look how much seed come out of this thing. Yeah. This maybe have over 40 seed in this one pepper here. And look how much seed this one have here. This is a bell pepper. Look how much seed this thing having. Yet, no, it's important. It's important to save your seed, especially if you grow in the plant. If you grow in the plant, it's the plant that you grow. It's your plant. Yes, you should save your seed every year. Save your seed every year and always remember to air them out the following year. And always remember, they got to be properly dry. There cannot be no kind of moisture inside of them. You see these? These properly dry. I've been drying these, and these air dry. These actually air dry. I've been drying these since few months now. I've been drying these pepper for a couple months now, since in the fall I harvest these pepper. And there's so much I still have. This is just a fraction. So you save your pepper seed, you save your okra seed, you save your ginger. Whatever you grow, always try to save something. Always try to save something for the next season. Don't use everything. You growing it, you save it. So welcome in everyone. How you guys doing today? Blessings to all. Like for instance, you have the next thing again. If you grow in a garden, guys. Thank you, Case Tractor, thank you. If you grow in a garden and you're dealing with the winter, there's some plants, once you have the space and the room, there's some plants you could dig up and put in a container and put them indoors. Just put them in, maybe in your garage, wherever, greenhouse, wherever. Keep them inside there. Don't water them too much. Just give them little water for the plant to survive. Then in the spring, you take them out and carry them back outside. So instead of you got to start from seed again, the plant is ready to produce, especially herb. So you have Kalancho. I don't even know if Kalancho was a cool hardy plant, but I bring mine indoors and they're doing well indoors. All my tropical fruit trees. Because I'm telling you, it's going to be very soon. I think it's going to be easy to get seed very soon. I think, and especially the seeds that, listen to me, remember, a lot of these seeds we get in today. Like for instance, I noticed, and this is a pattern I saw. I noticed that I will try to, I might see vegetables, I might see a type of squash. You know, I might pass through the farmer's market. Like if I'm looking for a plant, you know, I want to get some type of seed for something I'm not growing. So I might pass through the farmer's market and I might check to see if they have a squash that I never grow, or a pumpkin that I never grow, or whatever. But what I've noticed these time, I don't know if it's happening to other people, but for what I notice is they push out a lot of flowers. But the most flowers they push out is male. They hardly push out female. So now it's hard for you to get a serious crop from them because they're not pushing out the amount of female. It's a bunch of male flowers. They just pushing. So this is why you got to hold on to your seeds and make sure that every year you save from that seed. Every year you save from the crop. Because where you doing, you keeping a seed that produce. Because who knows? Maybe in the future, you mightn't able to get seed for germinate. You mightn't able to get seed for germinate. They might germinate, but the production, they mightn't give, like I remember, I have some type of squash that I grow. And these squash push so much female flowers, so much male and female. So when you look at your squash, but these days, man, you lucky if you get 3 and 4 from the seed you buy, 3 and 4 squash from one plant. Okay, Casa Industry, I planted all my vegetables in a 5-gallon bucket because I live in an apartment. I take the green pepper plant indoors in the fall and outdoor in the spring. Awesome. I had a plant last year, I had a plant last 5 years doing that way. Wow, that's wonderful. But you're doing the right thing. You take it indoors and you bring it out. 5 years. Wow, that's pretty cool. 5 years. You see, that's the thing. Once you bring it indoors and you take care of it indoors, then bring it back out in the spring and there we go again. So I would call that overwinter. Overwinter in your pepper plant. That's wonderful. Thanks for sharing that. That's wonderful. Definitely wonderful. And you grow in an apartment. Shout out to you. I'm telling you, man. When I hear people say they're growing in an apartment, I got to say shout out to them, man. Because for real, it takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of courage because it's a small space and you still trying to grow something. So the people who have the space and are growing something, they should just to hear a person say, I'm growing out of my apartment. That should make this say, you know what? I got to start my garden too. So shout out to you. I always give shout out to people when they say it. I'm telling you, it takes courage. Shout out to you. All right, guys, don't forget to hit that like button. Truly appreciate it. I try to do live stream before the garden season, like months ahead before the garden season, because I love to keep the garden spirit growing. You never know. There's people who might stumble across your channel and just get motivated. Next thing you see, they grow in a garden. You see what I'm saying? So I love to do this, man, because I enjoy doing this because, this is a way how I feed myself. So I take pride in doing this thing. All right? And this is why I'm an organic garden, because I really don't believe in using anything synthetic at all. I really don't believe in it, you know? All right. So is there any question? Is there any question? Q&A tonight, Q&A. Is there any question about organic garden? All right. There's a lot of people who, okay, this is a garlic, right? Sometimes what I'll do, I'll just take the garlic and put it in the soil. And then when it starts to root, then I take it up and I open it and I just separate them. I do that sometimes. Sometimes I also like you peel off the shell and you separate them like this. Ready to plant. The tip goes to the top and that's the bottom that goes into the soil. So you just take off the outer shell, and once you get the outer shell, or the shell is what keeping it together. And once you get off the outer shell, it becomes easy to separate. So you see, that's the bottom right there. That's where the root gonna be coming out. And all you gotta do is stuck this thing in the ground. The best time to do it, October, November, December, early January. February, think is a little too late. This one is sprouting already. This one, I'll put this one in the soil. But these, I'm not gonna plant them. I really think it's a little too late right now. But this is how you do garlic, guys. You take off the outer skin. And after you take out the outer skin, they all easy to separate. And this is how you plant them. This gives you a prime example of how to plant them. You see the tip push out, and the bigger part goes in the soil. You see? Which is this part. Goes in the soil and the tip goes up in the air. And you plant it at least 1 inch. And just like that. And the thing about it is garlic, you really don't have to do too much caring for garlic. You don't have to do that. These things take care of their own self. Ginger, okay, potato, sweet potato. I love to put them in water sometime, and I also love to put them in soil. My thing is, when you put them in, I think, okay, because in this case chapter said, one thing maybe you can help me with information. Once years ago, I put a thin layer of used coffee ground in my pepper plant indoor. I later got bugs. My wife said it's coffee bugs. You know what? I'm being honest with you, I never use the coffee thing in my garden. I never use it. I heard about it, but I never use it. So I really can't give you too much in depth about it. But who knows? maybe your wife right. Maybe your wife, maybe she's correct. But I don't use it. The thing is, I heard about so much things that people use. And God, I'm an organic garden guy, organic gardener, and if you check my channel, you're gonna see what I use. I make my own compost tea from the plants that grows up in my garden. I make my own compost from the weeds, the plants that grows up in my garden. I also dig trench and bury like rotten tree trunk in my garden and just allow it to break down. That's I really don't. I heard about a lot of things, but I never use them because what I'm doing, I'm seeing it working so good that it don't give me the urge to want to use anything that I'm hearing about. So I never use it, but who knows? Maybe she right. You just never know, right? I read online it has nutrients in coffee ground that pepper like. I never done it again. Okay. You see that? Listen, I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Yes, online we can get a lot of information online. But one thing we gotta remember, the information we get online is someone's opinion. Always remember that. It's always someone's opinion. All the information is what someone write. You see what I'm saying? So a person might say it add a lot of nutrient, another person might say something different. So the goal is, as a gardener, nothing wrong with making your own experiment or trying things, natural things, stuff. Try different things and see how it works for you. Nothing wrong, because if you don't try, you will never know how it works for your garden. Because someone might tell you, oh, I buy this product and it do so well in my garden. And then someone else might tell you, no, it ain't do, I ain't see no progress. So at the end of the day, once you gardening and you trying things, see what's working for you. See what's giving you production. See what's making your plant grow and produce in abundance. And that's where you stay. Where I stay is because I see the production that I get from my garden. So because of that, it made me don't have no interest in using anything that's out there. I'm being honest with you. You know, a natural garden, believe it or not, the problem is sometimes men. The problem is sometimes quick result, quick result, and we look for quick result, and because of that, it distract us, and then we start to using all kind of stuff. From the time we hear somebody talk about product, we're ready to go look for that product. No, sometimes you could stick right where you at and use the things you have. Like for instance, I know you say you're going like case tractor. I'm telling you, like for instance, if you have a space outside that you could have a 5-gallon bucket with a cover, and what you could do, you could pick up the leaf, like leaf and stuff and put them inside that container and allow it to break down. Give it some air and allow it to break down. You check what I'm saying? And you could be making your own compost, your own manure to feed your plant. So sometimes just let's, because here the thing is, right? Here the thing is, like in today world, a lot of people, if they get certain product from the store, it's like they can't garden because they're so used to using these compost from the store that it's like they can't garden no more. But when you making things work, you putting things together and make it. You'll be surprised, I'm telling you. All right, let me see. You see, what do you use for fertilizer? I did use, but no want to use something different. I don't use anything at all from the store. Nothing from the store. I make my own compost. I make liquid compost, liquid fertilizer. Liquid fertilizer, you could same thing, 5 gallon bucket. Put some weeds down inside there, like weeds from your backyard, grass, whatever, grass clippings. Put them down inside and cover that. Allow that to marinate for a few months. Yes, it's gonna smell stink. But I don't want to recommend that for you because you say you do apartment. But the dry one, you could take the weeds and leaf and thing and put them in a container plus and just leave them and let they break down. You see what I'm coming from? And right there you making your own compost. I can't tell you about these products because I really don't use them and I have no interest in using them because I don't know what's in them. You see? But you can make your own compost. Don't underestimate yourself. I know you don't have the space, but just use a small 5 gallon bucket. And maybe just leave it somewhere outside during the winter season. Sometimes you open it. All right? I use my dad homemade compost. He has a compost being made. All right, okay, so that's good. That's good right there. That's good right there. That's it right there. Just continue using that. Just continue using that. And you got every year, make sure if you're growing in container, you make sure you add some every year. Because remember, every year the plants suck the nutrient, so you always got to add more. Just keep using that natural compost, man. That's it right there. And I want to make, that's right, leaf mold. That's exactly what I was telling you about. Putting them, get the leaf and stuff. Yeah, listen to me, that's a really good compost too. I use that a lot. One that I really love is the tree body. The tree trunk, when it breaking down and it start to get sponge, when you could just take your hand and take it apart. That's some beautiful. So what I love that for, I love that because it operates like a sponge. It holds water. Yes, I love that. But homemade compost, One thing I would recommend with whole, this is the thing. A lot of people use different things. Like there's people who add meat inside their compost. Meat. I don't even think that's a good idea. I ain't gonna lie. Adding meat in your compost bin, I don't think that's a good idea at all. For real. And this is why sometimes we have so much problem in our garden too. Because we add so much things, we just feel like we got to add all these things in our compost. Do you ever see? Do you ever see if you put meat and it starts rotting and smelling? Do you ever see what's coming out of it? Do you ever see what's coming out of that meat? Do you really want that in your garden? Do you really want what you see coming out of that meat in your garden? All them worms and whatever. These things might help eat down your garden. All them worms and they might help eat up your root of your plant. This is why I don't take nothing in my garden, guys. Okay. Case Tractor said, my dad owns grass, leaf, weed from his garden. That's right. That's it right there. That's it right there. So just follow your dad, man. Follow your dad. Get compost from your dad and you'll be all right. Believe it. That's it right there. That's it right there. Grass, leaf, weed from his garden as vegetable crop. That's it right there. That's it right there. That's it right there. That's a blessing right there. I'm telling you. Yes. But the garden season is approaching, even though we feel like it's still months ahead. Now is the time to start sowing your seeds them. Now is the time. Some people say start your seed at least 10 weeks ahead before the planting season. Yeah, that's good. You could start 3 weeks too. You could start 12 weeks too. And just take your time. Don't overwater them, because I'm telling you, that's very important. Watering them too much, that's big problem there. All right? And it's now is the time for you to start, because you want to make sure that your seeds them is good. You don't want to wait till spring to find out, oh, my seed them ain't good, I need to get more seed. You want to do that now. So start testing your seeds them and see how it goes. All right? So how you guys doing? Hope you guys, okay, we here for over an hour now. Okay, all right. We did an hour. That's wonderful. All right. So I just want to say, man, thank you guys as always. Don't forget to join us. We go live, on the regular. Almost every night we go live. We also go live directly from our garden. We also upload we upload our videos. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you haven't hit the notification bell, please hit the notification bell so you can get all the latest updates. All right? Let me see. I'll just say, your family. For a handful of years, Carrie Russell. It was made in Caribou, Maine. I recommend that potato if you can. What the name of it? Caribou? All right, I'm definitely gonna look for that. I'm definitely gonna look for that. Caribou potato. All right, I'm definitely gonna check that out. Because it's still time, we still have time for plant potato. So I'm definitely going and check that out. Definitely. But anyhow, guys, the battery gonna be going dead in a minute. I don't want it to be just cut off. So guess what? Join me tomorrow night, late night, 10, maybe 11 o'clock tomorrow. And let's continue this journey. All right? So we're gonna be going live very often, go right down to the garden season because we want to keep the spirit alive. We want to make, we want to encourage others. And for the new gardeners, we want to share some information with them that might just benefit them and help them to start something in their backyard. All right? So thank you, guys. Thank you, Case Tractor. Thanks everybody who come out tonight. Yes, see you tomorrow. Definitely, I enjoy. Definitely, here's a nice warm place to be. All right. So see you guys tomorrow. Blessings to all.